Hi everyone, VortexTCG here, and today I'm going to be giving you another deck profile for a deck that has seen a lot of competitive play and is going to get even more competitive play now due to its brand new release in BT14. It might not be called D-Brigade anymore, but it's called Digipolice, and Digipolice is, I believe, the new archetype that is coming out from the Digimon Seekers light novel thing that they keep on releasing every week or so. Yeah, the Commandramons and everything above have now become the Digipolice and have introduced a bunch of different characters, and it is quite interesting. Let me know what you guys think about Digimon Seekers in the comment section down below, but I'm going to be showcasing you my version of the Digipolice / Commandramon deck. I'm going to be discussing all the new cards and yeah, showcasing you the deck. So if you're looking forward to this video, please do like and subscribe to the channel, and let's get straight into the deck profile. Okay, so today I'm going to be using a different software. I'm going to be using Project Drill, which is the simulator that I showed off about a month ago now, because it's seen a lot of improvements, and I think it's actually probably better to showcase it on here now. So we're going to be discussing the new cards first and then going into the deck profile as a whole. So we've got a brand new deck, a brand new egg, and it is this Missimon. So this Missimon has the effect when attacking once per turn by returning 3 cards with the D-Brigade / Digipolice trait from your trash to the top of the deck. This Digimon gains 2k DP for the rest of the turn. So it's an interesting way of getting more DP with this deck, essentially. Usually before, you'd want your Commandramons to die in security, but in this case now we kind of want them to survive so we can get into something a bit more bigger. So yeah, it's quite interesting. We also have the brand new level 3 Commandramon. This has an on-play effect. Reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 card with the D-Brigade / Digipolice trait among them to your hand, place the rest at either the top or bottom of your deck, and then your inherited effect. Once per turn, when this Digimon would leave the battle area other than by your effect, by deleting one of your other Digimon with the D-Brigade trait, preventing it from leaving play. So this card is very good because the deck kind of needs a searcher, and it had a searcher before, kinda, in the BT4 Commandramon, but just getting a guaranteed search is very nice, and the prevention effect of things being deleted is also very, very nice. Actually matters quite a lot in this deck now because you're going to be playing a lot of excess level 3s, and this helps you protect your guys. And one of the things I actually do want to point out about all this new future support in BT14 for this deck is that it is future proof because it mentions both Digipolice and D-Brigade. So it doesn't feel like it's a bit of a mismatch. I think there's only like one case where it feels a bit of a mismatch, which I'll talk about if you decide to play it. Yeah, you play this at 4. We also have Hi-Commandramon. Important to note, this always counts as a Commandramon. This is one of the first cards that has the rule text that says this always counts as a Commandramon, which is very interesting. But it has an interesting effect. When attacking, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play one of the cards with D-Brigade or Digipolice trait and a play cost of 3 among them without paying the cost, and then return the rest to the bottom of the deck. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think also this, if I'm correct, this also triggers the Tamer because it just says you may play a card with 3 cost, and the Tamer, which we'll discuss in a bit, is also a Digipolice. Let me just check right now before I go crazy. It is classed as a Digipolice card, so you can play that as well. So if you're looking for a Tamer, this is a good option. If you're looking for some more guys, so if you go into this and then to the new Commandramon, you get to search. It is a very, very good card in my opinion, and definitely better than the Sealsdramon we had previously. We also have the inherited effect. When this Digimon would leave the battle area other than by your own effect, by deleting one of your other Digimon with D-Brigade trait, prevent it from leaving play. Again, it's just another prevention, but once we get into the level 6, you'll understand why that is very, very important for the deck. But yeah, having protection is always very nice, and having a way to play out a Tamer, but also more of your guys is very, very important. So we love that, and yeah, we play 4 of it. We also have an interesting card that I wasn't expecting to talk about, which is the Numemon. Numemon is, I believe it's also a Digipolice, but it's weird. It's a weird one. On play or when digivolving, by placing one Satsuki Tamahime I can say things from your hand as this Digimon's bottom Digi-Evolution cards. One of your Digimons gain Rush for the turn, and then its inheritable is just Blocker. For the people that don't know, and I'll discuss the Tamer in a bit, this essentially just means you get to play the Tamer for free because the Mind Link mechanic works in a certain way that allows you to play this after your turn ends. So you're essentially paying 2 memory to play out a Tamer and also give one of you guys Rush, and the Tamer itself also gives bonuses as well, which we'll talk about in a bit. Actually, talking about the new Tamer, let's talk about that now because I think that's actually kind of a pivotal card for this deck. So, Satsuki Tamahime. I can say it, Satsuki Tamahime. So it has a security effect. It's kind of similar to the hybrid cards where it has it in its main text. You get to play without paying its memory cost. Start of your main phase, if your opponent has a Digimon, gain 1 memory. And the main thing here is the Mind Link ability. This is a brand new mechanic in the BT14 set, alongside Ace, I guess. Allows you to place this Tamer underneath one of your Digimon without a Tamer in its Digi-Evolution cards to one of your Digimon with Numemon / Monzaemon in its name, or the Digipolice trait. So this pretty much covers all of the deck, except for if you decide to play it, Darkdramon from EX3, or some of the older cards as well, because they do not class as D-Brigade, so you can't put it underneath them. So keep that in mind. That is very, very important. And it also matters a lot as well when it comes to the other D-Brigade cards, because they obviously count as D-Brigade and not Digipolice. So it's a bit weird, I know, but it does matter sometimes, the effect. But you're mainly using this so you get to play it out anyway, so just keep that in mind. And then its inherited effect, this is what happens when you Mind Link with it. While this has Nume / Monze in its name, or Digipolice trait, this Digimon gains jamming and reboot, and then at the end of the turn, you may play one Satsuki Tamahime. Let's just not talk about it, let's just call it Tamer. Let's just call it Tamer from now on, from this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards without paying the cost. So, like I mentioned with the Numemon, you get to put it underneath, and if you pass turn, you just unattach it straight away and put it into your sources. And not into your sources, into your Tamer's area. So, a very, very strong card, gains you 1 memory, allows you to get jamming and reboot on one of your guys. You can do it any time, by the way, the Mind Link. And yeah, it's a really good card, and it pretty much replaces all of the other Tamers in the deck. Let's talk about other cards. Next card, Hi-Commandramon. Very similar effects to one of the older cards, but we'll talk about that. On play and when Digi-Evolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play 1 card with D-Brigade / Digipolice trait, with a play cost of 4 or less among them without paying the cost. Then trash the rest. And then you're able to have an inherited effect as well. All turns once per turn. When one of your other Digimon are deleted, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play 1 Commandramon without paying its cost. Trash the rest. So again, we've got a lot of good synergy going on here, because essentially it's allowing us to play more guys. And when we use the inherited effects of maybe our Decoy Commandramon, or the Hi-Commandramon, you're able to play out another guy in response, and it is all turns, so keep that in mind. It's also important to note this is on play and when Digi-Evolve when you get to reveal the top 3 cards, so you can potentially start off a chain reaction, which is very, very interesting. So very, very good card. Finish off the deck is going to be the brand new Digimon. Hi-Commandramon was a brand new Digimon as well for Digimon Seekers, but this one I think is a bit of a fan favorite now. Kind of reminds people of Black Wall Grey a little bit, but this is Brigadramon. Wow, what a name, eh? When Digi-Evolving, delete up to 7 play costs total worth of your opponent's Digimon. Just having some way of deleting a guy is very, very nice, so pretty nice overall. Opponent's turn, all of your Digimon with the D-Brigade trait gain Blocker, which is again a very, very nice defensive thing, because usually you'll play the Commandramon Blocker, but now you don't really need to, because you already have one in the Brigadramon providing it to everything, which is very, very strong. I shouldn't have to mention that obviously, but it is very strong. And then it also has a once per turn effect. Reveal the end of your turn with once per turn effect. Apologies. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play up to 7 play cost total worth of cards with the D-Brigade / Digipolice trait among them without paying the cost. Trash the rest. So hopefully you'll go Brigadramon into Cargodramon into something else. That is obviously the main goal here. You know, you want to, if you want to like combo off quite a lot. This card is also very, very good as well. And overall, all this support makes Commandramon something that's worth playing again, in my opinion. One of the things that I feel it was the biggest problem with this deck was that you couldn't really play anything that's level 3 or level 4 and above, because there was nothing good that was level 4 and above. Well, this new support actually allows you to play something that's decent. Playing out guys, deleting guys, and then playing out more guys, and then gaining like tamers for free and everything like that. It makes the deck way more stronger. So let's talk about the overall build that I've got going on so far. So I already discussed the Missimon, but this is going to be my egg of choice. I was considering at some point playing the Pagumon, the search one. But I feel like sometimes the DP does actually matter in this deck now because we have a level 6, so we play 4 of it. Going on to the level 3s, we have obviously 4 of the new Commandramon. I've already explained it to you guys, but essentially this card is a searcher. The deck desperately needed a searcher, and it also has a protection effect, and that makes it very, very good for that reason. So you play it at 4. We also play 4 of the BT3 Commandramon. My main goal of this deck, if I'm being perfectly honest, is to still play a rush variant type deck as much as I can. And this one helps a lot because it has a play cost of 2 and it costs 3k DP. So it actually works out pretty well for the deck in my opinion, because sometimes just that 1 extra memory does matter a lot when you pass turn, and this guy allows you to mitigate some of the issues that you might have going into your opponent's turn. So you also play it too. And it's also important to know that when you get into a Brigadramon, you know, if you're able to just have a bunch of 2 cost blockers that you're able to play out cheaply, it actually matters a little bit more, because maybe playing 2 of those guys compared to 1 of the level 3 costs matters quite a bit. So yeah, we play 4 of this one. We obviously play 4 of the old Commandramon from BT4. This is still a very, very good effect, and it still combos very well with the deck, if I'm being perfectly honest. This just allows you to play a Commandramon when you reveal the top 3. Spoiler, you're able to play the Hi-Commandramon now because it has the rule text that says this is always classed as a Commandramon. So it feels even better now to hit on this card in my opinion. So you play 4 of it in the deck. We then end the level 3s with the Commandramon here that has got Decoy. Sometimes just having this guy out is very nice. Sometimes your opponent can't deal with just having a Decoy guy. So having this at 2 is very nice. I've seen it a bit more higher in certain lists. But in my opinion, I think 2 is perfectly fine, especially when you think that you have your Commandramon that protects, you have your Hi-Commandramon that protects, and then you also have this Commandramon. So you have like 10 cards that protect you. So yeah, decent card for the deck. One of the things that you might disagree with me on this deck list is that I play 12 level 4s, and I was definitely considering playing less, but I do find a lot of them quite valuable in a lot of areas, if I'm being perfectly honest. So let's start off with the Numemon. Playing out a Tamer for free in this deck is very, very vital, and not only does it do that, but it also gives it rush, so you're able to swing, and this Tamer gives it jamming, so you're able to essentially get a little bit of a swing going, and usually you'll be able to pass the turn and you'll have free. So if you need to just get a guy that swings for game, Numemon actually helps you in that situation quite a bit. So I play 4 of this one. I also play obviously 4 of the new Hi-Commandramon. There's not really much else I could say about this card. It is incredible. Playing out guys for free, counts itself as a Commandramon, and also the protection effect are very, very good. So you play it out 4. I know there's going to be some conversations about me playing 4 Sealsdramon, but let me explain. I still think Sealsdramon in this deck is very, very powerful, especially now that we have some sort of protection going on with the deck and also got some blocker synergy going on as well. The jamming actually does matter sometimes, surprisingly, and you can't equip this with the Satsuki. So sometimes you just need to get a couple swings in early game to finish them off, and this card definitely helps. And the inheritable on this card is what makes it incredible for me. Essentially, if you were to go into one of your level 5s, you essentially have a guy that has rush straight away, and that for me is very, very strong. Essentially allows you to get for 2 swings when digivolving for free. And that is incredible in my opinion. So we play 4 of it. If you were to lower down the numbers of level 4s, I would recommend lowering the Sealsdramon to probably about 2, and maybe playing something like a DefXmon 1 or 2 at the level 7 slot maybe. But yeah, that is just my version of this list at the moment. We also play 4 Cargodramon. If you play guys out, you're pretty good. And if you can play out more guys, you're also pretty good. So we play 4 of it. It's a bit of a no-brainer. This card is incredible for the deck. And similar in vein with that, we actually have the Tankdramon. Tankdramon has a very similar effect, but it also has something else going for it as well. While the Cargodramon would play a guy from Inheritable when it thinks something was deleted, this one allows you just to play one when one of your D-Brigade attacks. So reveal the top 3, gets to play a Digimon card with D-Brigade in its trace with a play cost of 5 or less. That doesn't really matter as much in this deck, unfortunately, but it does allow you to hit the Sealsdramon, which is quite nice in my opinion. And then when one of your Digimon with D-Brigade in its traits attacks, spoiler, it's going to be the level 6, you will go with this one. Reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. You may play a Commandramon among them without paying the cost, trash the rest. Just playing out more guys is very, very strong. We're a swarm deck, but we're also a very controlling deck when we go into the blocker. So yeah, we play 4 of this as the other level 5. We then play 4 Brigadramon. I've already told you my opinions on this card. It is very, very strong. It deletes guys, is a blocker, allows you to play even more guys, which allows you to synergize with the other cards in your stack. And for that reason, you have to play 4 of it, no questions asked. The other card, and this is a bit of a spicy pick for me, but when I was playtesting it actually did come up sometimes in a weird way. I played 2 of the Diaboromon Ace. Yep, it's not a Diaboromon deck, I get it, but it has a lot of things going for it, so let me explain. You have the Blast Digivolve effect, so that means you can interact on your opponent's turn. In my opinion, interacting with your opponent's turn is kind of invaluable at this moment in the game. You see cards like Magna Angie, Zudamon, you know, maybe not the other races right now, but they have ways to interact with your opponent which stops them in their tracks. And while Diaboromon isn't the strongest at this, it does have a very, very interesting way of slowing down your opponent, and that's by making tokens and deleting the tokens. So it has a when digivolving and when attacking effect. You may play 1 Diaboromon token, which is like the normal stats, and then all turns, once per turn, when an effect plays another Digimon, you may delete one of your opponent's play cost of 3 or lower Digimon. For each of your Diaboromon, add 2 to the maximum cost for this effect. So you're going to be getting 1 from this guy, and you're also going to be getting 1 from your token. So you're straight away going to be deleting a 7 cost or less. That's pretty much a level 5. And if they're swinging with something like a Zudamon or Magna Angemon, that's just essentially them passing the turn, because if you delete those guys, they're usually at the end of their memory. You have a lot of value there. So I do actually value the Diaboromon Ace in this deck quite a lot, and that's why I play it at 2. Tamers Satsuki, you already know why this card is very, very good in this deck. Gaining the memory, very important, but also gaining reboot, jamming. The reboot doesn't matter as much, but the jamming does matter quite a lot. The mind link on anything is also very nice as well, so you play 4 of it. My option of choice for removal is Ultimate Flare. I think it is very strong against stacked decks that might not have an answer to this, and for me, I like playing this. Every time I've played it in this deck previously, it has worked wonders for me. Has won me games alone from just playing it at 8 cost sometimes. So for that reason, I do play this at 3. And then to round off the deck, I play 3 Pride Memory Boost. A lot of the deck is 4 cost or less. You know, you have essentially all your Commandramons, your Hi-Commandramon, but you also have your Numemon, which is very, very important, because if you're able to get that and play the Tamer out for free, and then end the turn, detach it, it does a lot for the deck. So yeah, I do value Prime Memory Boost a lot in this deck. There's also that one that's coming out in like BT14 that has the absurdly long name. I don't want to name it, but it is there, and it is something that I would definitely consider moving on as well. But yeah, that is my list for D-Brigade, Commandramon, Digipolice so far. Let me know what you guys have, your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Do you like the build? Do you dislike the build? What would you change about the build? Most importantly, I really did enjoy the conversation we were having on the Eosmon video, talking about different cards that you could potentially play. But yeah, thank you all for watching this video. Appreciate your support, and I will see you all in the next video.